But this relationship, there again, is the connections. That's the linkage you want. You have a shopping street, you need a place to relax. You need an event, this becomes a place to event. This is freezing here in the wintertime. That's an ice skating rink. It becomes an ice skating rink. And they put up a temporary, at least I was told that they did, a temporary place to serve cocoa. The interesting thing to me is that it's held up, considering its time, fairly well. So the first levels of, at the contribution, well, how do we just simply repair what was there? But more important, what's happened over a period of time that makes the space less usable? How can we enhance what was the original concept, and to bring the other, by the way, other than the original designer, others into the process can enrich it. So that therefore it's not a self-serving, position that you take. So, but what would be good would be to look like this area here, which was done as an afterthought, really should be rethought totally, and maybe to revisit the idea of a structure in the park that could be used even temporarily, even if it was done, for summers only, if it was a pavilion. But these walls and this whole corner, as you look at it, tends to encroach on the park, number one. It tends to truncate it, and it also tends to make it blocky. Even though we did it, but now you look at it and say, well, the parts that do work, I think you just keep, because there are some very nice nooks and crannies. Some of the planting needs to be enhanced. The trees seem to be doing fairly well, need to be pruned a little, but that's all. They seem to be doing fairly well. What amazes me is the paving. It's holding up, considering what's happening in Nicollet. The paving is holding up very well. It was a 60s idea again. Everything was, new materials, and the whole idea reflective. They were to be neo-sculptural. But we didn't have the talent to ourselves to do a sculpture, so these became our soft sculpture. Looking at it now, it's very, very clearly a period piece. The ones on the corner were supposed to be seen, that's why they were so high, from Nicollet itself, and reflecting the city. This idea of reflectivity is something that interests me. The problem is it takes an enormous amount of maintenance to keep it. In this case, it just looks, they were never yellow. I mean, they were supposed to be a pristine mirror finish steel, and water was supposed to just ooze over the side. And this obviously was a homage to Larry Halpern, and what he was doing. Although, it tends to work. Even now, it was our sense of how, again, to reflect sort of an abstraction of nature and a waterfall. But the real importance of it, philosophically, was that it animates the space. When it's working, it really does. People sit around it, and you can see we can walk over there if you want. You can see the pads over there, and that water flows underneath it. There is your furniture again, which has all been changed, okay? These benches. And I would even change. But they're telling you something. They're telling you that, yes, those don't work, that we really need more sitting here. People don't want to sit on the steps, which was what our original idea was. And that would be something that if you came back in, you would look to do.